Yareli is a frame that nowhere in the history of Warframe has she ever been recommended to a new player. Now, there are a couple reasons for that. Her quest doesn't fit well with everybody. Not a lot of people like the K-Drive quest. It's a whole thing. Second, when she came out, she was horrible. Third, the bad reputation lingered so much that people still think she's bad, even though she's been buffed to the high heavens and is now a top contender for trivializing Steel Path. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what to expect from Yareli. Now, her gameplay is actually insanely simple. It requires little to no explanation at all. I'll go through her abilities really quickly just so you can understand briefly what you should expect. On a base, unaugmented Yareli, her first ability will grant damage vulnerability at a base of 200% to enemies. It increases with strength. It also grants crowd control, floating them in the air where they can't do anything. Second, Merulina. This puts you on a K-Drive, grants damage reduction, and gives you pretty much everything a K-Drive can do while allowing you to use your pistol. This has the downside of not allowing you to use your melees or primary weapon. Third ability, it's just some aqua blades that spin around you. Good for low level content, but it doesn't really ramp up as far as I've seen in higher level content too well. This is usually what you would subsume if you'd want to subsume anything. Now, fourth and final, amazing crowd control with Riptide, putting them all in just a nice big bubble. It's definitely one of her better abilities. Crowd control in all forms is extremely helpful to any gameplay. I probably already mentioned something that a lot of people don't like, so I'll get to it right now. Merulina. Getting on top of Merulina limits you excessively in a normal tile set. If you're not in a free roam or an extremely large tile set, being on a K-Drive is extraordinarily unhelpful in normal gameplay. It's just not right to be on a K-Drive in a small ass room. It doesn't feel right, the movement sucks, and you crash often. It's hard to see. It's just a mind fuck. Nothing is good about it. Because of that, DE heard the prayers, the whispers, and the cursing of all players in existence and came out with the Loyal Merulina Augment mod. This allows you to no longer have to ride Merulina. It acts as a companion, sitting by your side while still granting you the buffs of Merulina, getting rid of the limitations of the K-Drive, and also casting Sea Snare on enemies with a 2-second cooldown. And as I mentioned before, Sea Snare is what increases damage vulnerability in enemies. Casting that without cost is incredibly useful. Essentially, just if you get Loyal Merulina, pull that out because it doesn't drain energy. You get yourself damage reduction and a free Sea Snare cast every 2 seconds, which is just beautiful. But if you happen to like K-Drives, if you're one of the players that like K-Drives, you can get the Merulina Guardian. This one gives you insane DPS to your pistols. The only problem is it gives you the trade-off of other limitations for the K-Drive, such as not being able to use the primary melee weapons, the bad movement, all that stuff. You cannot use both of these at the same time. I personally don't own Merulina Guardian, but everything I looked up, you can't use them at the same time. Game doesn't allow you. You'd be too OP. Now that I briefly explained her abilities and the two main augments you'll familiarize yourself with, her gameplay is literally the simplest thing in the world. Pulling out Merulina grants you invulnerability up to 4 seconds, and then the moment it goes away, you can deactivate it and then reactivate it again, granting you infinite 4 seconds. If you have a lot of energy, it's a great way to be invulnerable. But of course, it's just she has 90% damage and vulnerability. You only really have to do that trick in high level Steel Path. Normally, it'd be a waste to just cast it over and over again. Her thing mostly just revolves around crowd controlling enemies. If you keep Loyal Merulina out, it'll constantly cast Sea Snare, crowd controlling a little bit of enemies, granting damage vulnerability, and then removing some pressure on the board for you. If you're going to be using anything with her, just know it's going to be a secondary weapon for sure, because her passive increases critical chance on secondaries by 200% so long as you've been moving for 1.5 seconds. Critical favor is what it's called. Allows you to do an insane amount of damage with your pistols with ease. And pair that with the damage vulnerability, I've seen people do billions of damage with her. It's absurd. So if you're the player that likes constant movement, fast, aggressive gameplay, and just running, gunning, moving around, that sort of thing, then she is definitely for you. If you like nuking with ease, doing nothing, and sitting around in a corner, you will not like her. I hate to say it. She's just one of those frames that demands movement from you. It's literally her passive. Now, the K drive aspect of her will make it or break it for most people. Because in most cases, if you use Laura Merulina, unless you're a heavy secondary main, there's no need for you to play Yareli, because you could just play somebody like Neja, which has everything she has, but without an annoying gimmick to go along with it. But if you love the K drive, you'll for certain love her. I've never met somebody that loved a K drive and didn't like her. Though truthfully, I've only met like 4 people that actually liked K drives, but it is what it is. Now, that is pretty much just about it. The only thing you should expect from her is, I'm gonna be honest, simple and easy gameplay. If you get the Merulina augment mod, it's as simple as it's gonna get. If you get the Guardian Merulina, it does require more skill because you're gonna have to be riding around on a K drive in a tile set. It's absurdly difficult. At least for me, I'm horrible at it. And though you have to be constantly running and moving around, it's simple and easy because constant crowd control makes her just absurdly mind-numbingly easy. You don't have to think about much. You don't have to think about anything. You just have to do it. And that's pretty much just about it. And tell me, what do you think about Yareli? Do you love her? Do you hate her? Is there something about her you specifically love or hate? I'd love to know. And so, with that being said, until next time.